Welcome back to another Q&A series here at the Driving for Dollars Mastery channel. This is where you ask and I answer. If you want to see more videos like this, go to my homepage on my YouTube channel and click on playlists so you can see all the Q&As. If you guys like this, leave me a like, subscribe. Also, make sure you leave me a comment or a question so I can answer them in the next video just for you. Today's question came from Andrew Wilshire. Thank you so much for the question. He said, hey everyone, is earnest money or EMD, stands for earnest money deposit, okay? He said, is EMD something that can just be sent without escrow? And also I finally have my first contract, but it was under the condition of receiving an EMD deposit of $300. First, I just want to say, what earnest money is, for those who don't know what it is. Earnest money is the money that the buyer of the property puts down to make the purchase agreement binding. It's customary that you take your deposit to the title company or the escrow company, same thing, okay? And it's not necessarily the same thing, but that title is used interchangeably. There are some differences, but to keep this video simple, same thing, okay? So you need to take that money to the title company to make it legally binding, okay? So depending on your state, you need to talk to your either your attorney or to your title company. Usually your title company will be able to answer this for you. Depending on your state, there may be a customary time frame that once you sign that agreement, you need to take the purchase agreement and the earnest money deposit to the title company within a certain time frame to make it legally binding. For example, if you put it under contract but don't ever take the earnest money to the bank and then 2-3 weeks goes by, then you take it. If it goes to court at some point for whatever litigation, let's say they want to back out of the agreement. The only reason you really have this is to ensure that the seller can't back out of the agreement. So because once you put it under contract, then you're going to start doing work and maybe even investing money into inspections and appraisals and those kinds of things. And so it would be unfair for the seller to back out because they found a buyer to pay more money. So if a seller is trying to back out and you had agreed to put earnest money down of $300 on the deal and you didn't do that in a timely fashion and they're trying to back out, they now have a clause to say, you didn't perform, Mr. Buyer, on the agreement, and so now we can back out and sell it to someone else and you're gonna miss out on a deal. So the earnest money is basically to ensure that if it ends up going to court and you're forcing the sale because the seller's trying to back out, you have followed the process and put money down. You've put skin in the game to force the sale. I've had to do this a few times. I've had attorneys send letters threatening people to perform, or there would be potential lawsuits. And so earnest money is very important. I highly suggest you have an attorney put together your agreements and tell you what your earnest money should be. I've been advised to put a minimum of $500 down as earnest money. Other attorneys may say at least 1% of the overall purchase price should be earnest money that you put down. Remember, this earnest money can all be refundable if you don't perform as the buyer, depending on what's in the agreement. And we have an inspection period that allows us to inspect the property, and if we have to cancel our agreement within the time frame that's set for the inspection, we can get all of that earnest money back. So there's really no risk as the buyer, but it protects you from having your seller try and back out when you've got a really good deal under contract. So I hope that answered your question. I wasn't 100% clear on what you were trying to ask here, so I kind of went into depth. I hope that helps. Also, if you guys want to get more questions answered, make sure you leave them below. Remember, this is You Ask, I Answer, and we'll see you in the next video.